So if your day was a flower, what would it be on a scale of 1 to 5? How was your day? We do a lot of check-ins in this space because many of us in the spaces we're in just keep moving. So please join me in this check-in. If your day was a flower, what would it be? On a scale of 1 to 5, how was your day? Flower, vibrant, multicolored roses. Oh, my day was 4 out of 5, and the flower is a lily. Oh, you and I love lilies. For the record, if you want to buy me flowers, please buy me lilies, not roses. Sunflower. Number is 4.54. Rusted Kenya power, paraffin lamps and candles. So is it power and lightning company? Okay, so Kenya Power took the power, so you rested by fire, by force. Sunflower. I followed the sun. One of the things I really love about sunflowers is you can tell the direction the sun comes from. They literally follow the sun. So a few more responses. How was your day? And if your day was a flower, what would it be? Just first check in, see where we are at as we set up to start our session right. Okay, any more people who want to? My day was a 3 and the flower is pink roses. Friendship. There was a time I knew the meaning of every rose. Don't ask me right now because I'm not quite sure I can remember those meanings. But hi, Nancy. Good to see you. On a scale of 1 to 5, how was your day? I'm waiting for maybe 2 more people. And if your day was a flower, what would it be? That's what we are reflecting on today as we begin our session. 1 or 2 responses, please. Then we jump into the teaching. Today's teaching is exciting. I hope you will be as excited as I am. Nancy, allow me to put off your camera for you. All right. And put on my own. I almost forgot. I think there's a day I forgot to put on my camera. Okay. So good evening, everybody. I trust you've had an excellent day. We start a new season. I see another response. A rosebud ready to blow. Excellent. I hope Botswana is good. Onika, good to see you. So we have moved into a new season. We are in a new month. We are now looking at our theme for the month is be seen, be clear, be chosen. And you will soon understand why this is important. Be seen, be clear, be chosen is what we're focusing on this month. My name is Chusuvire, and we manage this space very closely with my co-founder, Joe Mukoko, who is the original Mukoko, always on the call. He's the one who winds us down every day. So we do this every Tuesday, 7 p.m. East African time, 6 p.m. South African time, 5 p.m. West Africa time, and UTC or GMT is 4 p.m. And we'll be looking at several things this month. We start a fantastic brand new season off the back of a season of planning ourselves, look at our market, and then figuring out what visibility looks like to us. So we began that in the last quarter. Then we wrapped it up with an amazing traction lab last week. If you missed the lab, you missed a lot because we are now putting our thoughts together for how we'll implement our learnings from 2026 quarter 1. It's really interesting that we're already in quarter 2. All right. So today our topic is be found, show up. But our anchor thing for the month is be seen, be clear, be chosen. All right. So our context is that in the last quarter, you gained clarity about your business, you defined your customer, you refined your positioning. And we did a good conversation around the market, how to find our niches. We designed our customer avatars. And then we came and we looked in, why should we be visible? What do we need to be visible? But clarity alone is not enough. So what are we saying? This month, we want to make the shift from clarity to visibility. When you're clear, it helps you figure out your visibility. Moving from knowing to being seen, from effort to attention, from presence to being chosen. Why do we want to be chosen? Because we want people to buy our products or services. We don't want people to just sit there and say, who are these people? No, 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 no. We want them to buy our products and services. Because if people can't find you, they can't choose you. And if they can't choose you, they can't buy from you. So many businesses fail because they remain invisible. Or you're known by such a small community of people that it is not viable to run your business. So remember, in this space, we say your business should be based on a recurring problem in a certain group of people. It needs to be a large group of people, preferably, or a group of people willing to pay top dollar for it, and they're willing and able to pay for it consistently. It's not a one-hit wonder. It's not a one-sale wonder. We need to be completely seated in the place where people need what we have, want what we have, and are willing to pay with their time and their treasure, which is their money. That's what we're looking at. So let's define visibility. Visibility is not being everywhere. It's not being in every space, every place. Visibility is not posting consistently, even as posting consistently is important, but it's not just posting consistently. And it is definitely not chasing trends. Can you gain visibility by chasing trends? Yes. Is it lasting visibility? Not always. And remember our topic last month, we were talking about dominating differently, which is coming to the forefront because of our values, because of the quality of what we do and how well we put it out. So we say visibility is being where it matters. So if your audience is not on TikTok, there's no point of being there. You first of all go to where your audience is, and then after you've built that relationship, you branch out. Why? And it was said so clearly to me based on scripture today. I think it was Luke 15 that was being referenced. And the lady said, it was a story of when Jesus got into the boat and to preach from the boat, right? And she just said, we have to know who we're talking to and go where they are. And that way, even as it's something I teach all the time, today it just slapped differently. So being where it matters, saying what it is clearly, and showing up consistently. You see, consistency is not the prime thing. It is being where the people are, knowing what they need, and serving that on the kind of platter or plate of the right size that they want, and then doing that consistently. So our focus this month is to build a visibility system so that we can be found, we can be where it matters, be understood, and be consistent. Remember, we must be found. So we'll talk a lot about being found this month, and we will look at different ways we can be found. We will do one way today, and then we've got 3 more weeks to do other ways. So here is our activity, and I would like some confident people to share with us when you're done. Open your search engine. If you're Android, I assume it's Google Chrome. If you're on the Apple interface, please go to your Safari. In the search bar, put in your business name or the service you offer. So like you see here, the example is graphic designer near me. All right. And just check what comes up and ask. There are 3 questions I want you to answer. Do you appear? What do you see? This is your business, all right? And would you choose you? All right. If you don't have a business, because I know some of us are at the end of ideation and just about to launch, maybe search yourself as a professional. So it would be graphic designer near me or fashion designer, interior designer near me, like that. Okay? So let's go search ourselves. And I'd give us 2 minutes and we come back here and report. So go to the search bar, put your name in and see what comes up. And I'd like some brave people to tell us what they see. All right, go search your business, see what comes up. We have 2 minutes to do that. You search out your business, take your business name, put it in the search bar, or look for yourself as a professional. So whatever you do near me, and we see what comes up. Do you appear? All right. So who would like to tell us what they have found? You can put it in the chat. You can raise your hand and we will unmute you. Who wants to share with us what they found?
Hi, can I share?
Absolutely, Onika. Go ahead.
Well, the reason why I want to share is because it left a horrible feeling inside of me.
Where does the horrible
So
feeling
I
come from?
looked at from the realization that what I thought I was focusing on is not what is coming up when I search for myself.
Mm-hmm,
And what is coming up is mostly what others have said about me.
mm-hmm,
So it's an image of me that has been crafted through others and that I have not really controlled, a narrative that I've not controlled.
mm-hmm.
So it's just left a horrible feeling inside of me to say, oh my word, yeah, I'm thinking I'm on the right track, but I think I'm doing it in isolation and not putting it out there because this is not the narrative I want.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Oh,
What did you see? You saw that it's the narrative of others and not what you think you want, or not what you want out there.
yes.
Excellent. That is a good finding because that gives you a starting line. Thank you for sharing, Onika. Wamoyo,
Good evening, everyone.
good evening.
My name is Wamoyo, and this is my first time on this platform, so thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I've put my business name,
Mm-hmm,
and what comes as the first one is the directions, my Google map to the shop with my telephone number, WhatsApp is linked.
mm-hmm,
And then on AI overview,
mm-hmm,
that's the second one that is coming up. AI overview that gives the details of my business. It says Throttlewear is located at Baraka Court Mall, Shop FC 3 upstairs along Naivasha Road. It says that's my primary location.
mm-hmm,
And then after that, it gives my Instagram account.
mm-hmm,
It gives my YouTube and
mm-hmm.
my TikTok and my Facebook. I'm just
Yes,
going down.
that's okay.
What I didn't like is that I see a lot of questions on Reddit and I'm not featuring on the answers.
Uh-huh.
But
First
it
of
pulls
all,
my LinkedIn as
First
well.
of all, can everybody give her some celebrations? Use your emojis, whether in the chat. She has now shown us how we must appear. So congratulations, Wamoyo, you're doing very well. You're ahead of most of us. Because many of
Thank you
us
so
will
much.
be like, Onika, well, like, yeah, what is this people are saying about me? So then it
Thank
shows you have crafted and cracked one side. Now you need to go and crack the other side. Because if the questions are about indeed what you do and about your work and you're not seeing yourself there, that is a place for improvement and growth.
Yeah. Thank you.
And thank you for being bold on your first day. So I celebrate your entrance on the first day in class and you're sitting in the front row, fully engaged. I love it, love it, love it, love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. So, whatever it is you found is now becoming our starting line. All right. So, if you found like Wamoyo that the questions, there are a lot of questions about you on Reddit and you're not going there, that is where you need to answer the questions. If you found like Onika, many of us will find that we are represented by others in a way we would rather not be represented, then that is the sign that you need to shift how your content goes out. All right. Now, this is the second activity. take any of the names that you see on the on our participant list, except mine and Joe's, and Google them and see what comes up from them. See if something surprised you. In fact, when it comes up, usually there's the AI review. Look at the AI review and let's have a few people share who they've looked up. Just pick a name off the chat and research them. Check them out and see what is said about them. And then we can have two people tell us who they searched, and we will ask the person searched whether that is what they want to be known for. So that will just take a minute or two, less than 2 minutes actually. All right. Who have you searched? And let us know what you have discovered about them. Feel free to raise your hand. Feel free to raise your hand. Pick a name off the chat and just search them online. Somebody. Is there anyone still in the room with me?
Can I share?
Absolutely.
I searched Nancy Dalla.
Mm-hmm.
I got her LinkedIn. It says Dr. Nancy Dalla, Nairobi, Chairperson, Executive Audit Committee at Nairobi County, Founder, CEO, Tech, Leisure Enterprises, and alumni, African women, something. I don't know if it's the same person.
Nancy, is that representative of you? You can put it in the chat if you cannot unmute. But I'd like to hear your voice. Does that fully represent you?
Yes.
Excellent. The way you want to be represented, or are there things you would like to see put more prominently? All right. I take silence to mean that's how she would like to be viewed. So you see, when you are deliberate about what you're putting out, how you're talking about yourself, then the profile of you on the online spaces is a lot more accurate. This is always a fun thing to do because then you're able to see, this needs to change, that needs to change. For those who are in our WIDB class, building your digital business, you know how much we talk about the impact of where we are. So today we start with one thing: be found. All right? Because visibility begins with being searchable. So I'm very glad that in this room everybody can be found and everybody is searchable. And what we are hoping to do is to ensure that those of us who are lagging behind a little bit will become searchable. So be found. And today we are going to look at Google My Business. That's why I sent you to a search engine. All right. Why is this important? Search is equal to intent. When people are out there searching, especially on the online spaces, they're looking for a solution. And if you're not visible at that moment, you are definitely not in view. You are not on the list of consideration, and you will not be part of how they make their decisions. How do you become part of their decision making? You develop enough content, you have enough answers, because remember, you are speaking to a very specific audience. Let me give an example. We very often speak to early founders or founders in transition. So people who are making 100 million, I generally do not expect to see them on my feed. So my content will be tailored around how do I sustain my leadership and my faith as I go along. If you look at my Tuesday and Friday TikToks, if you ever join my lives, it's about how do we apply our faith into everything we do. How do we position our identity, knowing who we are and how God created us, and using that as the thing that keeps pushing us forward? Why? There is a way we are made, and the wiring we have is designed for a very specific assignment. I do not have the energy or the strength to deal with a cadaver. No, I'm not interested. But I have a young lady in our fellowship. She's in her early 20s. She's in 5th year of medicine, loving it. And she said that surgery was her favorite. And when they were doing anatomy, it was her favorite. The two things that stress people the most, to each his own, all right? So search is with intent. And when people are searching and looking for a solution, if you are not visible, somebody less qualified than you gets picked. Why is this important? Many of us are using the online spaces as our online marketing tool. Now, some of us may not necessarily be active on the other platforms, but online and social media, WhatsApp counts. So are you findable there? We've been doing a devotional this week for the last 40 days during Lent. I was doing the Founder's Guide to Lent. And I tell you, this last week, I have so many questions of, now what next? I apologize. It's been a very hectic weekend. Was supposed to have started a new series yesterday. It will kick in the course of the week. Why? Because as a founder, number one, working with other founders, many of us look at the Lent focus as just a spiritual conversation, but because I am born again and my business resembles my character, it means there is a way I must build. I'm building a kingdom business. So then there is a way that every celebration, every time of meditation, if it is stopping me and it's asking me to hear the voice of the Lord, it must be tied to what I do every day, because my work is my pulpit. Okay. So now I know that my community love devotionals and thoughts for the day. So I have been working on a few, so I can now begin to release them. All right. Many different thought processes. Some will be books to be bought. Some will be stuff we'll do the lighter end on social media. I have one of my accountability partners on this call who has seen it go far, to podcasts, to audio books, to workbooks, to seminars. And I keep people like that in my community because even when I'm like, nimefanya, they're like, haujamaliza. All right. And then also talking about how to put it out. So search equals intent. And if people are searching for a very specific solution around kingdom, business, and leadership, why can't I be visible? Because I maybe have not been saying it exactly like that. But for Tuesday lessons, teaching founders how to run their businesses, we have been consistent. We're probably at 70 something, almost 80 sessions by now. All right. So your first impression is made by your profile. Before people call, before they message you, before they buy, they search. Now, there are, of course, other places that people search. They will go to your TikToks, they will go to, and we discussed some of those last month. They'll go to any of your platforms, but one of the key ones that we want to ensure that we are findable on is on the Google My Business. Why? When somebody is trying to come to your shop or find your location, they will go and put it into maps. When somebody needs a pin, you need to have put a pin of where you're located. When they're trying to order and see what's the distance between you and them, same thing. All right. So your first impression is made there on whatever search engine they do. If you're working with Gen Zs and Gen Alphas, then you must ensure, and maybe the lower millennials, okay, millennials are doing all their research on Instagram. Gen Z are doing IG and a lot of TikTok. Gen Alphas, please, watafute uko Snapchat. So what are they doing? They are looking in the place that is most comfortable for them But then when they're looking for legitimacy, it will come to a place to see where you located on the map. That is why Google My Business comes in handy. At the core, visibility starts with being findable. Can we find you? All right. At the core, it's being findable. Being findable also includes your content, it includes your engagement, but can we find you somewhere? If we go to Amoyo's, it showed her contacts, it showed her email, her phone number, all the platforms she's engaged on, which means she's doing a good job. That is what being findable is. If you're only on LinkedIn, your LinkedIn should be the top and should have several posts. And of your posts, the AI review should be able to describe you the way you want to be described. Now, some of us are a bit scattered. I remember being in a meeting and asking the young people, I am multi-skilled. And the trainer's words are something I say very often: find one skill, build it. And when that skill is running effectively and efficiently, move to the next one. Same thing with businesses. Not many of us are able to build multiple businesses at the same time. So build one, and when you have the systems up and running, move to the second one and the third one. Usually the first one sets the tone. And after that, you understand how to set up systems and you're able to keep running. All right? So what makes you findable? A couple of things: a complete and clear presence, which includes the correct business name. All right? It includes your relevant category. So when you begin to go to, and I hope we'll have time to do a demonstration, when you go to create your profile on Google My Business, it will ask you for a category. Are you in hospitality? Are you a restaurant? Are you a cafe? Are you a bistro? So make sure you select your accurate category, and if there are subcategories in the category, be as clear as you possibly can be. Number 2, put in the right location. And when you move, change your location, which then means you need to have access to this profile. I remember a friend of mine, their Google profile was set up by somebody who they eventually had a misunderstanding with, who went and changed the backend email and removed them. So there is an entry on the search engines that is wrong. So what we had to do is we had to go and reset their profile. And then when they moved, we had to move it. Now, I'm a Google guide, so I'm able to actually add locations quite easily. So recently there's a very nice hospital here in our hood, but when we're on maps trying to book a cab to there or from there, it is a named location. So I asked them, you people, how can you be funny like this? And they're standing at their entrance. I added them to the map, sorry. Right? Accurate location. Why? Because I was standing at the entrance. So if you use that pin now, it takes you to their main entrance. Why is that important? Say you want a delivery or a drop-off. You don't want people being brought to the back side of your house because you set the pin in your bedroom or in your office. There's a friend whose pin was set in the boss's office, which is at the back of the building. So when you use that pin, it takes you on the road behind them. So eventually they had to come and move the pin to the front gate. All right. So when you're setting up your location, set it up from your gate. All right. And then updated contact details. So what is your contact? If you don't want your phone number there, get a separate line for work. Are you on WhatsApp? Get WhatsApp for business and have that line listed there. On email, list it there. List your website so they can find you. If you're a store, then you have an e-commerce component like some of us have, then you also have that link there so people can buy. They don't have to come. And then a very clear description of what you do. Why is a clear description important? And we're just going to jump into that. What we want to do is ensure that people know exactly why they're coming for you. I don't want people coming to me looking for medical research just because I participated in writing a medical journal. I want it to be known that I am a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm a trainer. I facilitate growth for early stage businesses and founders in transition. It has to be clear. How do we do that? Who do we work with? Then we're able to do the full shoot. The clear description also reduces search time for people and accelerates decision making so that they know Chesubire is the right fit. All right. Now, how do we build that trust? What people see determines what they believe. So you see, Onika shared that a lot of the things that are out there are what people say about her. Even as it's activities she's done, it is not her primary activity. So how do we communicate clear photos? If you're running a restaurant, if you have a shop, ask people to come back and give you a review and upload their products. I mean, I love doing that for restaurants. So every time I'm out, you'll see me taking pictures of my food, of the layout, of the setup. And then when I go to look at my feed, you are at Meraki. And I'll have a picture, I'll have a video. Of course, it gives me points, so I enjoy that. But clear photos, both from you and from third-party endorsements, which is from your customers. If all the pictures are you sitting at your desk, if you're a service business, are there possibilities of photos of you when you're out in the field doing work? If you're a product business, you have both your products listed as well as pictures from your customers holding the product, talking about it. You know those things we do on TikTok. Put up a couple of those, how you use the product videos. Why that helps is it shows people in real time that you are legit, all right? And then consistent information. Whatever information is on your TikTok, is on your Instagram, is on your LinkedIn, is on what you're putting up on your WhatsApp status, is on your website, is on your email signature. So that when people see you, they now have brand recognition. They know, these are the guys who do plant-based products for sensitive skin. These are the guys who in every turn talk about how they make your skin shine, sparkle, and look better. Well, sparkle, you can put glitter, but you get what I'm saying, all right? And then have updated activity. What is going on now? Where are we? What are we learning? What are we showcasing? Are we renovating? Have we restyled the shop? Updated activity. And then real reviews. Have you used an app? And very common on apps where you see amazing product, JM, wonderful, QT, never seen better, DT. If those are all your reviews, real reviews are reviews left by people whose profiles we can click on, and see they actually exist, right? So real reviews and real connections. You see, when somebody reviews, you come back and have a chat with them. I'll give an example. One of my friends went to a restaurant and it had 4.5-star reviews, and then she went for breakfast and it was a 1-star experience. All right. So she went to the app, which is Maps, gave them a review and just said it wasn't a good experience, right? So they came and they had a real conversation with her. What happened? And she explained. And then the owner realized that the 4.5-star reviews were about lunch and dinner service. They did not have reviews for breakfast. And in that moment, because this particular customer was interested in giving feedback, in that moment, they discovered a glitch in their service provision. So real reviews allow you to collect real current data, right? And then, of course, your response enables people to see that you are not running away from your responsibility to be a responsible brand. You are actually delivering quality for what you have. Why is that important? People buy from those they know, like, and trust. And we have to build trust in our different populations. All right? So how do you do this? The essentials of Google My Business is your business name. Let it be your actual business name. If you are Wajeri Flowers, write Wajeri Flowers. If you are Kiki's Desserts, be Kiki's Desserts. Be clear. Choose your category, like we said. Have the accurate location, your contact. What is your best contact? If your best contact is WhatsApp, make it clear, WhatsApp. And the beauty is, if you do have a WhatsApp for business number, you can actually, from your Instagram, from your Google My Business, from your, what's this platform? Facebook, everything meta linked, you can actually have that one click to your WhatsApp, and people can communicate with you. I find very often it's easier to communicate on WhatsApp because you can send me pictures. I can send you pictures, right? And then the thing you must be clear about is your operating hours. Don't say always open if you are not always open. All right? Don't say Saturday 8 to 6 and you close at 12 on Saturday and you're closed on Sundays. All right. And the beautiful thing about Google is that when there's a public holiday coming up, it prompts you. Will your hours change over the public holiday? If your hours are going to change, indicate. For many of us with product businesses, we sometimes work through the public holidays. So let it be clear, when you're closing for Christmas, put up a sign, closed from 24th to 31st, of 24th to 5th, That allows people to know whether or not they can find you. I'll give another example. In December, I had my nails done. They were beautiful. And then we went for a mission and my nail got caught on a piece of something and it broke. Let me tell you, Mina, I looked for my nail tech. So she's gone up country. All her people are closed down. And in that maybe 10-day period, I would not have been able to get help. Now, ladies, you know how a nail that is broken halfway down, you do not want to be walking around with that. Neither do you want to be walking around with a plaster. So I went to one salon, I got a stopgap measure done, completely disliked it. But it covered my nail bed and I was no longer in pain, so I measured over there. I left salon. I kid you not. I had done my nails on the 15th. That one broke on the 19th. I got something done on the 24th. I kid you not. 29th. I found a new nail tech. I did my nails, completely changed all of them. But then I was so done with that particular set of nails. And on the 31st is when my nail tech asks, did you get help? Not only did I get help, I moved. Why? My nail lady can come to the house. She can come and do one nail. She is flexible enough. So her operating hours are long, right? But nails are not the only thing she does. That's why I stay with her, because she can do my shopping for my beauty products. When she's going to do her own shopping, there's a lot more she can do. So on hers, then we would ask her to itemize both the beauty services alongside the beauty products that she sells. All right. So it's important to manage your operating hours in such a way that people are aware. Chesubere works Tuesday to Saturday, but Tuesday to Friday is 9 to 6. Saturday is 9 to 12. Sunday off, Monday off. Or she works Sunday to Sunday, never takes a break. So operating hours are a differentiator. What you must do is, in your description, remember we said make it clear. Your description must say what you do, who you serve, and why it matters to them. So your description is not about what you think you do. Remember, and if you were not with us in February, if you go to our YouTube channel, Afrikan with a K, MSME Collective, we'll put it in the chat later. You will find a complete series on how to map your market, how to define your customer, which is design your niche, how to design your avatar, and then we spent the whole of March figuring out how to connect with them. So whatever it is you're writing must speak to their needs. So you're not sharing features. Remember, and we say this every week on this platform, we talk about outcomes. So if we're talking about you have a skincare product, so I love skincare products, they're easy to talk about. If you have a skincare product, what you are talking about is how using that product improves my skin. If it's a shea butter product, and I have my favorite on shea butter. If it is a shea butter product, you teach us how to use it and how it improves our skin and why it matters that we use natural products on our melanated skin. All right. You have to be speaking simply, easily to understand in a language that is all about your customer. Because you're not telling us that it is the best in town. We said those are light, those are sometimes, I like to call them vanity words because it's you propping yourself up. Talk about how it makes my skin feel, how it answers the question of trying multiple products and eventually finding one to settle with. So you talk to why it matters to me, not to you as a provider. So what you do, who you serve, and why it matters to them, and keep it simple. All right? Common mistakes, no profile at all. Please, the other thing you do, there's a place for profile picture. Put a picture. If it is a business, put your logo so that then you become recognizable. There are people who tell us they know what date it is by our blue posters. If you've noticed, our posters are all a shade of blue because our corporate color is shades of blue. All right. So mistake number one, no profile. Under no profile picture or incomplete information. Maybe you began keying in something and you forgot to save, so you lost data. Go back and check. Please ensure that even when you put up your visuals are clear. They're not blurry. All right. And clear descriptions, we have beaten that one quite a bit, so I will not go back there. No visuals at all, especially if you are a product business. It is absolutely critical as a product business to be visible. Absolutely critical. So how do you do that visibility? You ensure that at the end of the day, there is a clear picture of every product you want people to look at, to remember, to buy, and all that. All right. And then ignoring reviews. Sometimes the reviews, you go give it a thumbs up, like it. And deleting bad reviews. So many of us think that bad reviews are bad for the brand. No. They can actually be very good for you. A bad review and your response to it. So let's say somebody gives you a 1-star and said they had a terrible experience. You can come on board defensive, or you can come on board and ask, what was so terrible about your experience? All right. How did it make you feel? And then you dig in there. Remember the story I said of the lady who went and she had a terrible breakfast experience? Do you know how the restaurant compensated? They listened and they said, why don't we give you and your family a complimentary so that you can re-experience us at a later date? And they gave her a reference number. They didn't tell her, come on Tuesday, so that they know who she is. So she went back several weeks later, different service. No, I think they went back for mid-morning service and it had improved. If your customer is invested enough to give you a response about something that's not working, grab it. Usually, they vote with their feet, they walk away. All right. So when we delete bad reviews, then people know you're either insecure or you are denying. And this is how people begin to come after you. How we respond to negative responses says a lot about our individual character. All right. So, what are key things we can do? Visibility is not once off. It's not we set up, then we go. It shouldn't be that. It should be at a pace that works for you. Now, some people will try and tell you post 5 times a day. If what works for you is once a week on Tuesday at 9, let it always be Tuesday at 9 or Wednesday at 9. All right. So be consistent. When you have updates, new products, when you have bundles, when you have discounts, when you had a fantastic event, come and post updates because it's your platform, okay? It's your landing page. Add photos. We all have 1 or 2 photos we can give, all right? We can put out there. Sometimes it could be you working at your desk if you're a service business, or it could also be you, if you're a trainer facilitating, having those conversations where it is your face that's in the frame, but there are people sitting around you so that you preserve some people's privacy if you have not done that consent form for media that they've given you. The other thing you can do is respond to reviews. Keep the information coming. Find out something new in your industry, pop it there. Put a link to somewhere else where you wrote a white paper or you wrote an article on something relevant to what you're doing. And then the other thing you can do, which is what the algorithm really rewards, the algorithm always rewards engaging with other people's content. So go and give somebody a good, thoughtful review, not just, oh, great. No, 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 no. Mirror what you would like them to give you. So if you want somebody to say they had a fantastic experience that day when they came to your place because of bam, 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 go and do the same for them. When you give a thoughtful review, what you're doing is you're showing people that you, one, appreciate them, but also secondly, what you are doing is you are positioning yourself as a good neighbor, which is very useful for all of us. So give others good and thoughtful reviews. All right. So today, as we wind down and as I look for questions, search your business, we've done, search your service. So let me ask you to search your service. Remember, the service could be graphic, you're a graphic designer, so do graphic designer near me and see who comes to the top. One of the things we said earlier in the year, our competition are our best friends because they are a good data source. So if you're a graphic designer, search graphic designer near me, see who comes on the top, go and look at their profile, understand what they're doing, watch their patterns, catalog their wins, then come and audit your profile. Not to mirror theirs exactly, but you're looking at your profile to see whether you are strong enough and getting the kind of engagement you need. Then come back and update whatever needs to update. You add photos, you clarify your description, whatever it is your audit has shown you is lacking, come back and do that thing. Come back and do that thing. Because what we're working to do is keep moving and keep improving. All right? So, the simple target we're giving you this month is before the next session, be searchable, be clear, be credible, be you, which means you go and you do that audit and you begin to align it to yourself. Do we have questions? Do we have questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So, can you first of all, thank you very much for this. It's been helpful. Earlier on, my question is, earlier on you were talking about reviews and connections. and real reviews. So one of the things that I've always struggled with is where a client is maybe happy with the service, and then they express it in that moment, and it's very genuine in that moment. And then I really struggle with then wanting them to repeat that for marketing purposes. So how do you get around that?
Question to you is, why do you struggle with that?
Pardon?
Why do you struggle with that? What's the
Because
difficulty?
then it feels like it's not genuine, that you said this in the moment and it was genuine when you said it. Now I'm asking you to repeat it for social media purposes. It then just feels, I don't know. I really do struggle with that. Yeah, I
I
feel
hear
like
you.
I'm not being genuine.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things you can do, for instance, let's say with you, like when you did ADD Botswana, and we're all gushing, like I would say this is the best event we've had in a long time. You can actually take my words, this is the best we had in a long time, and add my name and turn that into a piece of content. Because remember, we were in your space and you alerted us that we could that you were going to use the things we said as part of your documentation and your content from for the event. So sometimes you can do that. Recently, let me give an example. I run many classes, as you know, and recently we were running one of our classes, but on the one of the online platforms where we sell our products wanted a review. So in the comment section, somebody said, I'm so glad I'm here. I don't know what I'd have done without this. You know what I did? Because they said they wanted a review from us. I went to that chat. I screenshotted it, removed their name, just hid their name because it was going to go on a public platform, and I uploaded that as a review. So you can get your reviews many ways. One, you could do if you have like the way we do a feedback form here at AMC with three questions and anything else you want to say. You could get your reviews from putting up a post and tagging somebody and asking them to give you feedback on something. You could get a review from sending somebody the link. I remember we went to a restaurant and the server came and said, how was your meal? It was fantastic. Do you mind giving us a review? Absolutely. She put her hand in her pocket and brought up a little business card with a QR code that you scan. It takes you straight to their Google My Business page. And then they ask you, please, and then we're like, can we mention your names? Like, absolutely. So it is for us to find a method that works well with who we are, but also, and sometimes this could be part of the problem, we feel like it is braggadocious for us to put those things out. Imagine it's not. You've done a good job, you've done a good job. Right? So is there, and this is something I had to work through, there is a false humility in saying, oh, I don't want people to ask people what they think about me because I will look proud. If you've done a good job, you've done a good job. So let's go back and deal with what is the root of that self-doubt in you, or what is the root of that dislike of collecting that kind of data. And once you've dealt with it, you'll be more confident. I must admit, and you can ask Joe, I struggled with using some of those things for a long time. Yes, I can see your microphone is on again.
No, I'm not saying anything. Sorry, I'm just listening.
I thought you had a further question to ask. So sometimes the check inside us not to share these things comes from how we were raised and told, don't blow your own horn. Who will? Because if you're doing a good job, you're doing a good job, period. And remember, I said that if you don't talk about what you're doing, somebody with a lower quality product, with a terrible process, will be known as the go-to person, and they will be taking credit that should be yours because you have this fantastic product. So look at it in that way. Find the easiest way to get feedback. Some people, it's a text. Some it is an email. Some it is a 3-question Google form. Some it is that when you tag them, like on one of our platforms, we put up this week's poster, and somebody has come and said, "I love how you guys are so consistent." For me, that's feedback. I will go and screenshot it and keep it somewhere. Why? That allows me to talk about third-party endorsement, which is a powerful, powerful positioning tool. I hope that is helpful.
It is very much so. Thank you so much for that.
Excellent. Anyone else with a question? Before I hand it to the real Mukoko. All right. I take silence to mean no more questions. Let me take the chat. Thank you, Samuel, for sharing the link to the channel. Absolutely love it. So the final thing you must remember is being found is just the first step to being chosen. You cannot be chosen if you cannot be found. If all the ladies are in a dark room and the gentlemen are looking for brides and they cannot see them and they cannot find them, you will all remain single. That is the same thought process. So don't overthink it. Do not delay it. Make it easy for the right people to find you. And then we can continue to move forward to being chosen. So that being no questions, let me hand this over to Joe to land this plane.
Can you see me?
Yes, we
I
can
am not
see.
in the dark. You have said we should be found. Can you find me? Yes. So thank you very much, Isidore, for that conversation. Be searchable, be clear, be credible, be you. One of our key objectives this year is moving ahead with clarity in everything that we do to make sure that your businesses then get to thrive in the spaces and in the communities you have chosen to serve in. So thank you for gracing our stage, for gracing our studio this evening, even as we move along. We appreciate you for being here. And beyond today, what happens? First, we thrive. I'll tell you this. We thrive where feedback is. First few days, of course, it was tough, and you're like, why should I? Why should I change? But remember, we are here to serve you, even as we move and we build you and build your muscles. You continue being a catalyst. So share the feedback link. Let us know what you need us to tweak, what else you would like to know, what else you would like to add to this journey as you move ahead. Then for those of us who've not joined our community, if you're a first-time visitor here, thank you very much, and thank you for gracing us with your presence. We have a closed community. Collins, yes, we are waiting for that feedback. And remember, we have someone who we don't analyze our feedback ourselves. We have a monitoring and evaluating person who sits, looks at what was said, and sees if we are keen to grow. For those of us who have not joined our community, we invite you to join. We have shared the link. We run a small closed WhatsApp group where we believe, and not just believe, we are all leaders and catalysts for transformation in the spaces and the places that we serve. So feel free to join, share the link, others can come. We would like you to grow your communities by tapping into the collective energy that is in this space. So feel free to do that. Then we are running point on one of our communities, Thai event. They'll be running the Nairobi Startup Summit and Awards, 28th to 29th May. The early bird tickets are still at 3,000 shillings. Yes, still at 3,000 shillings. You can, and the link is there. You can log in. You could also share it in the communities that you have. It's a fantastic space to be in. Last year, we were 1,200 enterprises in one space. This year, looking to serve about 1,600 entrepreneurs. And most importantly, just a time for you, 2 days for you to network, for you to talk about your products. For those of us who would like to get spaces to sell, they will also be there. So thank you very much. We shall also share it in the WhatsApp group. Thank you for being here. As we close, allow me first to thank our partners who make sure that we can be here every day. AFI Solutions, China Publishers, Regroup, Shala Global, the Cube Innovation Hub, Akiko Stories, Haki Innovation Services, SOA Events Institutes, Aura Essentials, Thai Events, Conscious Works Consult, Zurich Consulting, Business Support Africa, and of course, Chesubire and Joe for being in the room. Allow me to also thank our back office team, Ms. Tibbard, Mr. Kwe, Ms. Mimo, Ms. Felicity, Ms. Juliana. Have I left anyone else? Yes, Ms. Wamboi, for walking this journey with us and making sure that we get the support we need to come and talk to you, our esteemed audience. We are looking forward to a graduation. It's coming up. Chesubire, in how long? 3 weeks? 4 weeks? Plane is almost landing for class.
I think it is 3 weeks.
All right,
3 weeks.
fantastic. So, cohort 1 of women in digital business. Some of us are in this room today. So thank you so much for gracing us and for being diligent students. We get the report, Ukunyuma, when you're doing your homeworks and everything else. So thank you for being here. Allow me to thank everyone for attending the show today, and allow me to give a special mention to someone who formed me to be how I am today. So the poster she's joined in. You know, when I started and I was young and I was learning processes and systems and asking, why are these things like this? And then when I went into the energy space and she helped open up the space, you know, it's always good to acknowledge. So, Wamoyo, thank you for being in the room. Looking forward to you joining us more and letting us know what else we can do. And guess what? She's a biker. I think very good age in a few weeks. Chesubre, maybe Wamoyo should organize for you a bike ride. Have you ever wanted the thrill of a bike ride? Wamoyo does that, and she runs a whole community, and she'll be joining us even as she sees how else can she grow her business, but most importantly, how else can she grow her community. For those of us in the space, thank you very much. We are 10 minutes past time. Thank you for being here. Please put in the chat space, what is your one key takeaway as we close the show? And asking Chesubire to give us her parting shot.
Visibility is important, absolutely important. So do your part. Don't be scared. Just step up and do your part, and the Lord will help you do the rest.
Thank you very much. Visibility is important. So remember the homework we've been given. By the next session, which is next Tuesday, be searchable, be clear, be credible, be you. So next week when we are coming for class, in the chat space, please come and, I wanted to say through, put down the links to your social spaces so that we can follow you. Don't throw, just come and put them down gently, and then we are going to follow you. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You are blessed. And may you find success and favor in everything that you engage in for the rest of the week. See you next week on Tuesday. Collins, I'm waiting for that feedback. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Have a good morning, wherever it is you're joining us from. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, everybody.